Hi there, good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's so stoked to be able to attend from afar. It's fantastic. It's been really cool. So yeah, I just decided to do this 15 minutes ago, so I don't have any slides. But I think that's the spirit of lightning talks, right? So I think there's 2 more slots, like one each day. So sure there's some left. So I'm sure every one of you has something interesting to show. So don't be shy.
Yeah, thanks for pushing that.
Right.
Stage is yours.
Cool. Who here has ever had a Silver Stripe bug? Show of hands. I'll just imagine the response. So first question then normally is, has anyone else had this bug before? Are people aware of it? And then the second question is, how would I find that out? And then which module is it? And Silverstripe's not exactly known to be, it's a monolith, but it also has a lot of GitHub repos and a lot of places to track issues, right? So we also have this problem every day. So we built something for it. If I share my screen, share my entire screen, 1 second. Cool. So we've built this little thing here, which is a Vue app that queries GitHub. So it looks by default through all core modules, the core recipe. You can include commercially supported modules as well. So good example might be if you're running Nginx and there's something weird going on, right? It's really hard to say in which module would you find an answer for that. So you can just say, okay, well, there's something here. Maybe it's actually closed and not released. So maybe I'm going to look in open and closed here. 6,000 issues. Okay, that's a bug. But you can see this is a pretty good interface to just, look at grid fields. I don't know, grid field alignment or something, right? Like there's lots of ways you can find this. We are pretty good with tagging our stuff. So you can look at, for example, RFCs is a really good way to keep in touch with what we're working on, what we might want feedback on. You can sort by newest, you can sort by most recently updated. So at the moment you will see, for example, this is the ORM decoupling that Sam was talking about. And there's some discussion going on there. There's lots of interesting stuff in here if you really want to dig in. We also label good first issues if you are thinking of contributing, making your first pull request. We do have a pretty strict triage, so you can use label type bug, label impact high, for example, and find out all the high impact bugs. That's what our teams are actually using for the day-to-day triage when they are deciding what to work on. So this can get quite powerful. Behind the scenes, this should be no surprise, but it's GraphQL, and this is actually going straight from the browser to the GitHub API. So this is deployed on Vercel, I think, but there is nothing running on the server. I think it's just hosting static files. So this is a query that it's running. You can see it's using GraphQL typing, so it's got certain things that it returns on issues, other things it returns on pull requests. And this is where the magic happens, is the query string, because that's quite a powerful DSL, domain-specific language that GraphQL provides. So you can say search only in these repositories with these labels and things like that. It's a Vue app, so it's just little, it's actually the first time I've written a Vue app, and that's already been a year and a half ago now. So you can do things like, just loop over the results, and yeah, it integrates quite nicely. So yeah, I'll send out link, bookmark that. One additional thing is, of course, this has issues from all kinds of modules that you might not be using, particularly if you include the supported modules in this list. So one little thing that we've added is like a little command line utility that you can pipe your composer log file into, and it'll effectively create a customized URL. So I've got a little thing here. So this is just like a Silverstripe 4 project, so it should be pretty standard dependencies. So if I'm doing that, it basically gives me a URL that has all the repos that are considered Silverstripe repos in my composer log file inside the URL. And on OS X, I can actually just pipe this through and open it straight up in my browser. Now that's a URL I could bookmark and just look at that every week and figure out, okay, so let's just sort by newest, and let's just look at label impacts high or impact critical, right? What are new critical bugs that are surfacing in the things that I'm actually using, right? So that's just stringing together, like Felix was mentioning Unix utilities, just stringing together a few simple things and powerful tools like the GitHub GraphQL API and producing something that's hopefully useful. Like we use it every day at Silverstripe, the mothership. Cool. And that was my show and tell. Any questions?
So guys, as Ingo said, don't be shy.
No, we have not fixed all the bugs in there yet. There you go. There's a link. Why is it called Elvis? Oh, I think Paul, our lead designer, must have had a musical day. Yeah, that's stuck. It's like we're using it every day. We're like, just look at Elvis. The last command. I'll share that little utility. You can either run it in your project, so you can install it just as a dev dependency and it'll find the composer log automatically, or you can just install it globally as like a vendor bin and then pipe any composer log to it.
All right. So Ingo, thanks a lot for your spontaneous session. It was cool to see some showcasing.